What a day and what a man. Sachin has been a part of my life for all these years. I'm a cricket fanatic, as all of you know, and I had tears in my eyes. And I even had tears when he scored 50 and we saw his wife saying, go on for 100. And he nearly got there. But anyway, what a wonderful, wonderful era. Proud to have lived through the Sachin era. And we look forward to him doing many more things for this country. But now back to the elections in Chhattisgarh. It's a big election. It's 4 days from now. Already round one has taken place. That's in the south. Now it's the center and the north where the elections are going to be held. And the Chief Minister, Mr. Raman Singh, is trying to win for the third time. Very, very unusual. We know Sheila Dikshit has done it for the third time and she's trying for the fourth. But winning 3 times in a row in a state as large as this has got 25 million people, not a very big state but much bigger than Delhi. To win 3 times in a row is a huge feat. So we've been traveling right across the state, through all the villages, talking to people, talking to leaders. We spoke to Raman Singh, we'll see what he had to say. We spoke to Ajit Jogi, we'll see what he had to say a little later. But joining me now, who's my comrade in arms, who's been traveling across the state with me. Sorry, I'm having to shout a bit because we're in this beautiful setting, a steel mill, which I shall just come to, but traveling across the state with me, Dorab Supariwala, who knows who's going to win, and is going to tell us at the end of the show, often after the show's over. And we've got Sunil Kumar here as well, editor of the Chhattisgarh, a bold, fearless newspaper, and a man who's greatly respected in Chhattisgarh. Joining us will also be Mr. Bhakt Charan Das from the Congress party. He's the national spokesperson and will be working very hard in Chhattisgarh. Also, we'll be joined by Dharmendra Pradhan of the BJP. He's in charge of Chhattisgarh. Both of them know the state inside out. So we wanted to get a local expertise and not just a national perspective. So first, just let's have a quick look at, just before we go to the first graphic, I just want to talk a little about what's happening behind me. We are seeing here steel being made. First time I've seen it actually. Now we know Chhattisgarh is great in terms of natural resources. Coal in the north, iron ore in the south, but it's often felt that a lot of this natural resources have gone to other parts of the country and not value added here. Well, here's one of several steel mills that are making, using those natural resources, the iron ore, and actually making steel here. But Sunil, you were saying this is only primary steel, not a very high-end steel.
Yeah, that's right, and that is one of the major problems of Chhattisgarh economy. We produce only primary steel and very little value addition is done to this. And we suffer all pollution, all problems related to mining and manufacturing.
But
and
then
the cream of the income which comes from the value addition, it goes to Punjab, other states.
Right. So that's one of the underlying kind of issues here. Has Chhattisgarh been treated fairly over the years? But let's have a look at the competition. It's a two-party fight really between the BJP and the Congress. Let's have a look at last time what happened. The fight between the BJP and the Congress last time was very, very close. Here it is. Remember, it's got 90 seats in the assembly and 45 is the halfway mark, and the BJP last time got 50 compared to the Congress is 38. But just look at the votes. 40% compared to 39%. Just a 1% difference. And others, a large 21%. But if we move on and look at, this is a pattern for many elections in Chhattisgarh. We look at the history of this. It's a very close fight here, always. Look at it, from 1990 to 2008. Of course, this state was only formed in the year 2000. But if you look at this region from 1990 onwards, a very close fight. 1990, Congress had a 2% lead, then a 4% lead. And look at the last 3 elections. A 1% lead. BJP had a 2% lead, and then last time BJP had a 1% lead. So Dorab, very, very close fight.
Perhaps the closest anywhere in the country, I think. This kind of fight, I don't think we have seen anywhere in the country, even closer in Kerala. You know, it's so just a little bit of a shift here and there could mean new government. So polling and prediction becomes next to impossible.
Pollster's nightmare.
Correct.
In spite of being a pollster's nightmare, he's going to make a forecast. It is a very close fight historically.
Yeah.
Is it going to be different this time?
You see, this small difference in percentage, it is not a true representative of the difference, because some of the seats they have disproportionately extra lead. So the difference in percentage doesn't necessarily reflect the difference in number of seats.
Right.
So it may misguide totally.
Right, right. But a very narrow difference in terms of popularity. Now let's just have a look at what's happened so far in this. We look at the map of Chhattisgarh and see, you can divide the Chhattisgarh into 3 regions: the south, the central part, and the north. The north is mixed tribal, the Oraon tribals. Then you have the central part, which is Raipur, and the southern part, which is predominantly tribal, which is the Gonds in the south. Now if you look at the number of seats, the central part is the biggest. The north has got 32 seats, but you can see it's mixed. Tribal 14, non-tribal 18. Here the BJP and the Congress are neck and neck. Look at the central, that's on the right, you can see, with Raipur as a central focus of the central region. 42 seats, non-tribal, predominantly non-tribal. The BJP and Congress neck and neck. The south, 16 seats, of which 15 are tribal, the Gonds. And here the BJP totally dominated in the last election. They have to do as well as that, basically sweeping that area if they're going to retain this state this time. So Dorab, once that's both a positive for the BJP and a worry, because you've done so well, you can't do any better there.
Yeah.
You just have to hold on.
And the Naxal problem will be fairly severe with recently those massacres. So I think they are quite on edge and worried as to whether they will be able to hold on. Because frankly, a couple of % swing here could swing 5 or 6 seats. If they swing 5 or 6 seats, it becomes neck and neck, 50 to 38. They lose 6, Congress gains 5. So it is vital for them in this first phase that has already gone to the polls for them to hold down, keep at least 8, 9 of the seats.
Yeah, Sunil, a lot of people were telling me this is the strength and the worry for the BJP.
Yeah.
They're already at maximum. They can't do better in the south.
That's right.
So the worry is they may lose a bit there.
Yeah. Actually, they are facing another problem. They had 4 or 5 important, powerful ministers in this first phase.
Right.
So
First phase from the south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the ministers, they had been doing extremely bad. Now at the end of the day, they may win, they may purchase a victory in their own constituencies. But anti-incumbency against those ministers, it may affect adjoining constituencies.
Let me ask Dharmendra Pradhan. Dharmendra Pradhan, sir, the BJP, tell us about your worry about the south. Are you worried the southern region, the tribal area where you did so well last time? Are you worried you may slip even a little bit and 4 or 5 seats can make all the difference?
Not at all, Dr. Rai. Since first phase polling has been over, we are confident. I am very hopeful. Again, we are going to repeat the last 2 elections performance in this election also. We are confident.
Do you find you're not worried about anti-incumbency like Sunil Kumar was just saying? It's a phenomenon all over. And now you've got... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I can appreciate Sunil Kumar's point of view, but after polling, let me tell you, after polling, the kind of vote percentage has increased. The kind of women vote came out for vote. The main issue was Naxal problem. There was a ban call by Naxal people for 6 days in those area during the election, defying that order, defying that ban. Largely people came out on the street, women came out on the street, youth came to the street, they voted for
Right.
In pro there is pro incumbency voting in that area.